everyone. Welcome to the drill, or what we like to call this is not a drill. So, as you all know, we are currently in a public health pandemic. So, we are, as Black Lives Matter, we are trying to transition over to the internet. The way that we're trying to move forward is basically moving all our campaigns online in the interest of all of our organizers and in the interest of the community. So we're going to be getting started really soon as people start trickling in. My name is Megan Castillo, and I am a Black Lives Matter activist. If we are hoping that you send your questions via the question box down below. And we're going to be getting started. We have a long list of panelists. I'm going to be reading from my notes. So on our list, we have Dr. Emily Bargoma, who's a molecular biologist. We have Dr. Brandy Cross, who is a biochemist. We have Timon Durrett, who's an actor and emergency preparedness advocate. We have Akili, who is a veteran organizer. Billy and Godson, who is a Black community safety provider. We have Marcia Riley, who is a gig economy worker. And Dr. Anthony Ratcliff, who is a professor. So while we wait for more folks to trickle in, we want you to grab some water, grab some notes, and we are hoping to basically share critical information and lessen the risk and increase preparedness for Black Los Angeles. This is our efforts to maintain mutual aid, and we hope that you are ready. We have Anthony Ratcliff. We are going to bring him on. He is a professor and an expert, and he's going to give us more information on Black community mutual aid. Hi there, welcome.
How you doing?
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We have about 6 minutes left, but we just want to highlight and emphasize the importance of community and Black mutual aid. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. So mutual aid is definitely something that has a long tradition in the Black community, going all the way back to in Africa. There were numerous examples of mutual aid. The enslaved Africans, when they got to the United States, had to form mutual aid communities. And this is something that's been going on for a long time. I think the best example of mutual aid has to be the Black Panther Party, who did the survival programs pending revolution. And those programs really were important. We all know about the breakfast program. They did things like free health care with sickle cell anemia, testing and those kind of things. And so this is something that has a long tradition in the Black community. And I think right now this is the time where we really have to uplift mutual aid as much as possible.
Right.
Mutual aid is really about how we have our own direct participatory voluntary associations, right? How we share things, how we make sure that whatever we have, we find folks who don't have those things and we share those things with folks, right? And so I'm part of the Leimert Park Mutual Aid Organizing Committee, which Dr. Brandy Cross is part of as well. And we've been doing this for a while. We created a free store where we actually support folks, where we bring, we get things from other folks, clothing, different health products, and we take those down to Leimert Park and we share those with people who don't have those things, right? And that's really what it is about pooling resources, exchanging those with other people. And this is a very important practice that I'm really sure is going to be more important now, because we know that we see all the things going on at the grocery stores, people not being able to get different kind of health products, toilet paper. So there's ways that we can actually begin to, if we get our hands on things, how can we share those with other folks, right? And I think it's important that we think about this now. And even though, mutual aid is very much looking inward, because we know that, just as Billy and as other folks have been talking about, we can't wait for the government to come and actually bring things to our community. We know that, places like Leimert Park, Crenshaw, South Central, these are places that will be the last ones to get resources. And so the more we can actually, if we have those things, if we're able to get our hands on those things, to share those with other people, the better our communities will be. Right. And so it's really important that we advocate this and we push this. And so we actually, we're going to be putting together different resource packets for folks in our community. And the best thing about this, the way this works best, is for each community to do their own, right? We can't service everybody in the Black community in LA, but we can actually take care of Leimert Park and the communities around us. And so we're actually putting together resource packs. They're going to have things like hand sanitizer, that have things like wipes and those kind of things. And we're going to begin to bring those around our neighborhood. And the more we can sort of do those kind of things and network with other folks, the stronger we'll be. And there's a lot of this going on already in LA, so that's very important. But we want to make sure that we can do that as deep as possible in the Black community. At the same time, we know that there's also demands that we need to make on the state, right, the system, like I do want to make sure that we don't just forget that there are responsibilities, and there's 5 demands I want to say. And I know we don't have a long time. At least I saw that Marcella's on here, so I'm gonna let her talk a little bit. But I want to leave these 5 demands with people, so we can, as we're doing the mutual aid, as we're supporting our communities, we're also advocating and pushing for these other changes in society. Right. And one thing I know Achilles going to talk about is healthcare. We need free healthcare. We need free testing. These things are important. We need to demand those things. We don't have access now to create the tests yet in our community. Right. We need to figure out how we can get those. We need to demand that that people who are not working should be guaranteed food stamps and other kind of support. We need to not pay nothing. There's actually currently a petition going around in California to ask that we stop all rent payments, all mortgage payments, all not paying back student loans, all these different things. We want to make sure that happens. We want to also make sure that the prisoners, people who are in prison right now, those folks who are in there for cash bail, they should be let out. Low level criminals. I think all criminals should be let out, but we need to really make sure that folks aren't just sitting there who haven't been convicted of anything, actually being exposed potentially to this disease. We need to deactivate ICE. ICE should not be going around doing what it's doing right now. We need to release all detainees. We know at the border they have these detainment camps. Those people are susceptible to this disease. And also making sure that the homeless camps are not swept up. We know that that's going on a lot right now. They're sweeping up homeless camps. We need to make sure that those folks have access to housing. Right? The governor's been saying he's going to open up motels and different things. That needs to happen today. It should have happened yesterday. Right? And so all these things are things that we can demand as we go about organizing our community, as we go about creating these mutual aid programs that is going to be essential for us to make it through this illness together.
Right. Thank you so much. We're going to be tuning into part 2, so feel free to join us there. I know folks still have more questions down in the comments, but what you're getting at is incredibly important. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We're just going to continue on with mutual aid because this is what it's about, right? Sharing knowledge and getting that to our community. So I appreciate your time. Thank you, Professor Ratcliff.
Thank you.
So we want to check in and see if Dr. Ratcliff is still in or if Baba Keely is on to join us. And if they are not, then we are going to close out our session. But in the meantime, please do stay tapped in. A few things that you can do to get involved with Black Lives Matter Los Angeles and to continue on with mutual aid is 1, text 5 friends to invite them to participate in BLMLAs. This is not a drill that's happening right now, so tell them to try to find the live that I've posted because it's going to stay up for at least another 24 hours. Also, tell them to call in to check in on elders and physically challenged family and friends and neighbors. We also want you to share BLMLA social media handles with your followers and friends so that they can stay plugged in to our work. And be sure to go to our website at BLMLA.org and get tapped in there so that you can sign up for our newsletter. But we appreciate all of you, and also feel free to donate to your Black-led grassroots organizations. Shameless plug, donate to us at GoFundMe.com/BLMLA. And please do stay tapped in. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. During these times, we definitely had to lean on each other, so appreciate you all. All right, that's it for today. Enjoy.